everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I thought it would be fun to do the Booktuber Newbie Tag. Now, technically speaking, I have been making book content for a little while now, but I think I'm still newbie-ish enough that I can answer these questions, and I think that it still gives you good information about me. And also, it's not like I have millions of subscribers. I don't even have I don't even have 1,000 subscribers, so I think it's okay. Hopefully I'm not breaking the rules too much. Such a rebel, I know. But yeah, I just think this tag is really fun, and it just gives you a really good intro to who I am and what my channel is for and why I am doing this whole thing in the first place. So yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to sit down and answer these questions with you. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? I started this YouTube channel because my husband encouraged me to. I always thought that YouTube was something really fun. I really enjoy watching YouTube, and I thought it would be fun to create content, but I was always kind of a little bit shy and a little bit nervous about it. And my husband kind of just gave me that push and said, you know what, you are a very creative person and you have a lot of fun things to do and to say, and you should share that with people. And so shout out to him. He's the reason that I really started it, had the confidence to, and it's just a really fun creative outlet for me, and I really enjoy making videos. So that's why I started the channel. The next question is, what is unique about this channel? I would say that a very big unique thing in the sense of the realm of Booktube specifically is I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, also known as Mormon. I don't see a lot of members of the church who are specifically book creators or even content creators in general. Definitely not in this niche. And so for me, how that affects my reading is basically I don't like reading smut. I don't like reading gore. Anything that's too graphic is not something that I generally like to gravitate towards. And if anything like that is included in a book, I will let you know in my reviews. That way, if it's something that you're trying to avoid, you can have a heads up. So I think that's something that makes me unique. It's a very core part of who I am. I try not to be too preachy or anything like that, but it is part of who I am, and it does affect the way that I read. So that's a unique thing about me. I'm also a very young mom. I am 21, about to have my second baby, so that kind of gives me a different perspective in life as well. And yeah. The next question is, why do you love reading? I love reading because I just think it's so fun to escape into another world and see how creative people can be with their writing. I do really like reading fiction mostly. I do read some nonfiction, but when it comes to why I love reading fiction specifically, I just think it's fun to dive into a new world and learn about new people, and especially if you're reading from someone else's perspective, really diving into their brain and why do they think that way. And I always think that's really fun to dissect. And then when it comes to nonfiction, it's fun to learn. I enjoy learning. And so, diving into a nonfiction about something that I'm not an expert in, which is most things, because I'm not really an expert in anything, it's good to learn new things, and it's fun to hear other people's perspectives about them that I might not get otherwise if I wasn't reading that book. So that is why I love reading. Some of my favorite books, I'll tell you a few here, but I actually did make a video about my favorite books from last year, so you can check that one out. Some of my favorite books I read last year, my favorite book last year I read was Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. This is a sci-fi. It is post-apocalyptic. It is following kind of a pandemic setting, which is very interesting in this day and age to read about. And it just follows various groups of people in the way that they're connected and how they respond to the pandemic, how they treat other people, and the way that society stays the same and changes when everything completely shuts down. And I thought that it was really thought-provoking and really, really interesting. Another one that I really loved was Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. This one is kind of a murder mystery, very tongue-in-cheek. The author, the book is speaking to you directly. It's direct to reader. It tells you, okay, there's going to be a murder in this chapter, and these are the rules for a mystery novel and stuff like that. And it's just really, really fun. It was a really unique narrative style, and I really enjoyed that about it. And I also really enjoyed the mystery. I wanted to know what was happening. I was trying to figure it out, and my guesses were wrong, and so I was shocked throughout the book, and I just thought it was really well crafted. Another one that I really loved last year was A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Kingfisher. This was a super cozy fantasy. It's about this girl who is a wizard, but her magic only applies to baked goods. and basically she has to use that to her advantage, and she has like a sourdough starter like little gremlin that is sentient and follows her around and stuff, and it's a super fun read. The next question is kind of about like the challenges of starting a booktube channel and what do I think will be like the hardest challenge to overcome as a booktuber. And I think the biggest thing for me and for everybody in some sense is time. Like I mentioned, I'm about to have my second baby. My daughter is 15 months old and I am currently 31 weeks pregnant, so I'll be having another baby very soon. And the biggest thing is just, you know, I generally only film during nap time. I try not to have my daughter in my videos too much because people on the internet are weird and she's not the focus of my content. She's the focus of my life, but not of my content. So generally I try to only film during nap time. It's nap time right now and she's just sitting in her bed yelling no. So, you know, we'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, you know, that's a big challenge to overcome. And I also have chronic health issues. I guess that's something that makes me unique in some sense. I have chronic migraines. I have a autoimmune disorder called POTS that can make me dizzy and pass out occasionally. That one is more in remission. It comes in here and there. Biggest thing for me is migraines. When I get a migraine, it wipes me out. I cannot read while I have a migraine. So like if I'm, you know, reading for a vlog or something, that would delay the vlog by quite a lot. So those are kind of my, you know, challenges of being a booktuber, but, you know, there's ways to get around them and I just do my best. Sometimes I miss a week, you know, in uploads, but I also try to not beat myself up over it too much because there's no point in being rude to myself over something I can't control. You know what I mean? The next question is like, when did you start reading? I started reading as a child, as I think most of us did, but I've always loved reading. I read a lot as a kid. I read some as a teenager, but I was pretty busy, and in early college years as well, pretty busy, so I didn't read as much. And then when I got married, which it's my 3-year anniversary next week, so congratulations to me on being married for 3 years. When I got married, I had more time, and like I said, my husband encouraged me a lot, and so he kind of encouraged me to really lean into that hobby and take time to read and time for myself, and that's something I'm eternally grateful for. And I've just really fallen back in love with reading, and I love it. Where do you read? In bed or just kind of around wherever. I often read on the Libby app, which if you don't know, Libby is this awesome app. It's totally free. You just put in your library card information and then it gives you access to your library's ebooks and audiobooks. And so I absolutely love Libby. I read 99% of my books on Libby. I don't buy books that often, mostly because we don't have the money for it. You know, like we're a young family and this economy sucks. And we don't have the money to like just be buying tons and tons of books or the space for it. So, you know, why spend all that money when I don't have space for it and I don't have the money when I can get it for free? And I really don't mind reading on my phone. So I'll read on my phone quite a lot, and I'll just try to pick it up when I have, you know, a moment in my day during nap time, waiting at the doctor's office because I have a billion appointments because I'm pregnant, you know, whenever. Genres, what genres do I like? I like most genres. I don't like romance. I would say romance is probably my only genre that I really don't like. I guess I don't really read that much like historical fiction either, but I love fantasy. I don't like romantasy. Mostly because it's all like so full of smut. So if you have good romantasy suggestions that don't contain smut, I would be happy to pick them up. I love fantasy. I really love sci-fi. I like mysteries and thrillers. I like horror if it's not too scary. I'm kind of a baby. I get scared really easily and I get nightmares really easily. So when it comes to horror, I have to be really careful about what type of horror I read. And like I mentioned before, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and so I don't like reading anything demonic because I do believe in bad spirits, and I just feel like, for me personally, if I'm reading something that is about something demonic, about demons, it just invites that into my space. And I'm like, get out of here. Go away, ghosties. Don't want ya. So, yeah. that's, you know, horror. I've read a few horror novels that I really loved that were not too scary and not too gory, but I'm really, really careful with that genre. Same thing with murder, like mysteries, like murder mysteries, and thrillers. Those can also be kind of borderline, so I just try to be careful with what books I pick up and pay attention to reviews and trigger warnings and stuff like that, because there's certain things I don't want to read about. But yeah, most genres I like, and I enjoy finding new things. Okay, the last question is just like showing you my book collection, and my camera is about to die. So good thing I don't have a huge book collection, am I right? So I will just flip you around here. This is my one bookshelf. Bassinet is kind of in the way. My husband's blind cane is right there. But yeah, I have a just kind of sparse collection. Here is classics, and then there's some series, lots of series, and then just like random, it's like mostly YA and fantasy books that I've had forever. And then I have a few books up here. This is like all my baby supplies for my son. And then I just have these, like, this is the Percy Jackson series. I recently got that. The Book That Wouldn't Burn, I'm actually reading that right now. This is just the dust jacket of Frederick Bachman, and one that's about foraging mushrooms. So yeah, that's just a little introduction to who I am, why I have this channel, why I'm doing any of this, and why I love reading and what I love reading. So if you're new in this space, or even if you're old in this space, let me know. Let me know if we have anything in common and what your answers to these questions would be, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!